Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and if you follow me on social media, which you really should, by the way, both Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at Andy Signor. That way I can notify you of good content, since this platform, YouTube, is not always reliable. But if you follow me on Twitter especially, you may have seen that I'm not a big fan of actress Debra Messing of Will and Grace fame. She, to me, is the perfect example of what's wrong with the extreme left. Now, I've called out both the right and the left. I don't like extreme views on either side. I've become more independent since my days of being a Hollywood liberal, and I've come more in the middle. And so when I saw her trending today, I thought, well, this could be interesting. This is a perfect excuse to do another one of my favorite segments. They said what? Debra Messing said what? Let's find out together, shall we? All right. So she was on Twitter today, and apparently she issued some phobic insults to Trump. Let's read it in the context, though. So here was the actual tweet in question. America, this is your leader. Real Donald Trump, you are a weak, scared, stupid, inept, negligent, vindictive, narcissistic criminal. I hope you live a long life in prison where you become the most popular boyfriend to all the inmates. Why is becoming a boyfriend a negative? It's a little weird. Maybe rethink this phobic undertone tweet. Fair. I love you, Deb, but please don't bring this into the equation as something derogatory, which, let's be honest, that's what she just did. I happen to be gay. You suck in a bad way. Nice tolerance display, especially towards the gay community. Wow, you're quite the phobe, just to put gay youth at risk. So anyway, people clearly calling her out for this problem, which, look, it's not a great look for someone of the star of Will and Grace. Why is it about being the most popular boyfriend? So anyway, here's how she doubled down, guys. Well, she said, let me be clear. I said nothing about the LGBTQI queer love. The word R is an act of violence, as in what she's, I guess, goes on in prisons. She's saying that's what she meant. The R word is an act of violence, not love here. Trump has perpetuated violence on hundreds of millions of people. My hope is, and this is the first time in my life, that the tables are turned and he is the victim of the perpetrators. LGBTQIA ally. She added the A there. I feel like she's even confused which letters to add there. You'd think the star of Will and Grace would know better. Wow. Okay. Huh? Wait, what? So, all right. So the first one's sort of like, well, okay, why do you wish him? Okay, clearly. Oh, so she doubles down because she wants him to be R'd in prison. That's a good role model. No, you know what? That's going to teach him. What a brilliant way to stop the division in our country by inciting violence. Yeah, that'll teach him, right? That's a good way. I mean, what is she doing? This is an awful comment. It's an awful comment on two ways, because she absolutely did. It was a derogatory statement. I mean, it is what it is. I wouldn't have canceled her for it. I wouldn't cancel anybody for anything. But the original statement, let's be clear. I mean, she's making I hope she becomes the most popular boyfriend. She's making that a negative. She's bringing a negative connotation. She didn't say, I hope you get R'd in prison, or, which I have a problem with too, but beyond that, she didn't say it. She mean, I hope you become the most popular boyfriend. She made sort of used a loving term in a negative way, which is derogatory. I'm sure her audience was like, dude, whoa, pump the brakes here, Debra. Why are you making that a negative? Being boyfriend's not a negative, right? So she messed up in that regard. She did, and she's called out. She could have ignored it, but no. The Daily Wire jumped on it because I think they just don't like her and they wanted to pile on. And then so then she responds to it, and rather than just ignore it, she responds to it. And look at this. She's totally ratioed here. Actually, I don't think you guys can see the ratio. Bam, there it is. 1,000 likes, 1,000 hearts, and over 3,000 comments. That's a sign of people aren't happy with it. And so she doubles down by saying, well, no, sorry, guys. Let me correct. I want him to be R'd in prison. She wants an act of violence on him because he's perpetuated violence on hundreds of millions of people. And her hope, for the first time, guys, I'm sure this is the first time she's wished death or violence on Trump. It's the first time she's done it. Lie. She hopes the tables are turned and he is the victim of the perpetrators. So is she implying that Trump has wrongfully sent hundreds of millions of people into prison so then they can get their revenge on him? What perpetrators is he going to get the tables turned on? Are we talking about the kids in cages at the border? Is that who she's talking about? Who's doing the action here? Are you guys as confused as her double down is just is to me is even worse, because she's denying, she's like trying to spin it like, well, no, that's love. I didn't mean to knock the loving boyfriends. I'm talking about getting Art in prison. I want him to die in prison. I don't mean to laugh. This is messed up what she's saying, but Debra, what is wrong with you? This is effed up is what you're doing. How is this helpful? It's like, I don't understand this. You go to, imagine being a fan of Debra Messing, right? It's just so you get a sense of this. Actor mama, global ambassador. So like, you like Will and Grace, cool. Like if you go through her stuff, it's like every minute. It's political. Every minute, do this, like grassroots, blah, 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 blah. She is just like her thing is just, oh my God, it's like non-stop and never ends. Retweets and this and stuff she's throwing and get rid of this guy and this is the death and need rides, blah, 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 blah. And it's like she's trying to be all this progressive and do it my way, but then she's like calling, she's the epitome of what's bad with the extreme left. Some people call it Trump derangement syndrome. You're so lost. It's so hard to contain your energy as all your senses are ignorant. More for Leo. What? And so she's just this Trump. Legitimately, I do think she has like a problem here, where she's so against him that she's gotten deranged. Like I genuinely think she's sort of becoming a poster child for what that is, because there is like, look, I got problems with Trump still. I don't hide my beliefs. I'm not a fan of Trump. I know some of my viewers are. Look, I'm not a fan of some of the stuff he's did. Just politically, that's me. But I'm not here shoving it down your face saying that's the way you have to be. Now, there's certain decency, I think moral problems and stuff that I just don't think he's done well on social media. I think he's encouraged divisiveness. I think he has done some bad things and fanned some flames. That's just me. And so, I understand why some people are upset and why some people don't want to support him. However, I also know, and I've met, that not all Republicans and people who support him are the devil. I've also learned that. So you have to be careful now of just, yes, I have political beliefs you may disagree with, but I'm trying to be better. Be like, hey, look, those are your beliefs. These are my beliefs. Let's at least be civil to each other, and let's be respectful to other human beings. Let's not wish violence on them. That's not really a good look. I don't think that's good. I don't want to support somebody who's going to, level that kind of hatred of, I want you to be Art in prison. Unless this person, like, I don't know, killed your kids or something, then maybe I understand why you're so gone, but she just, I guess, feels that way, and that's what he's done. I don't want to get on the political wave, because again, the problem with our country right now is we are divided. Pretty much half the country voted for him, the other half voted for the other guy, and the other guy won, and some people don't believe it, and I got my own problems about that. But the reality is that's where we currently are, and the reality of it is, yes, we are divided. There are two sides to this, and we keep trying to fight. So when the extreme left, the do-gooder side, the ones who's supposed to be the better ones, so they think when they're not, this just proves how they're the same. It's like you are just as bad as Trump to me. I can't support you either, Debra. What are you doing? This isn't going to help anybody. This is horrific what you're saying. Whether you believe it or not, and you want to say that in private, whatever, but you just going to put this out, and then you're going to try and defend it, like, yeah. So anyway, Debra Messing, what are you saying? What are you doing? And this isn't the first time she's gotten caught in that. Let's just be clear as I wrap this up. The other thing she did, which was very questionable, was when there was a list, there was people who were supporting Trump. I want to make sure I get her quote right. In September of last year, Messing supported her Will and Grace co-star Eric McCormick when he ignited a firestorm on Twitter by publicly stating that he would no longer work with Trump supporters and asking to be told who would be in attendance at a fundraiser for the president in Beverly Hills. So, hey, kindly report on everyone attending this event so the rest of us can be clear of who we don't want to work with. Thanks, tweeted Eric McCormick. Shortly thereafter, Messing joined in on the Trump supporter hate fest. and demanded to know the names of those in attendance at the fundraiser, effectively supporting a blacklist against people who think differently from her. Please print a list of all attendees, please. The public has a right to know. Excuse me? So if a private citizen goes to a political rally and wants to donate, Debra Messing deserves to know who that person is? Why? How is that legal? How is that okay? It's not. It's totally a blacklist, and it's totally not. And she was caught. And so both her and Eric McCormick had to scale it back after pushback from both the left and the right. Both McCormick and Messing semi-retracted their statements, accusing their critics of misinterpreting them. And I want to be very clear about my social media post from last week, which has been misinterpreted in a very upsetting way. I absolutely do not support blacklists or discrimination of any kind. I imagine that's what it said. As anyone who knows me would attest. You kind of just said you did. I'd simply like to understand where Trump's major donations are coming from. Okay, well, you might not... From companies. You guys asked for the people. So let's be clear. You didn't ask for which companies, public companies. You asked for which people. And to go back, please print a list of all attendees the public has the right to know. Attendees. I want the names of all of those in attendance, is what they said. Report on everyone. Report on everyone attending this event. So we can be clear who we don't want to work with. Who we don't want to work with, okay? And then, so he's trying to spin it. I'd like to understand where his major donations are coming from, which is a matter of public record. I'm holding myself responsible for making educated and informed decisions that I can morally and ethically stand by, and to do that, transparency is essential. Look, like I said, I don't like Trump, but this is horrific. I got to at least step back and be like, this is too much. What are you doing? You just labeled a whole bunch of voters are now apparently the evil ones. You are so out of touch. These guys, Hollywood, they're so out of touch. They have no idea what it's like in the real world, like the working class people. They have no clue. It's not always about the immigration or some of the things you have problems with. Sometimes it's just about taxes or pro-choice or pro-life. Like bigger political issues sometimes make a decision on. So therefore, because they have a difference of a political belief, they should be on a list so people can blacklist them? That's what you just asked for. And then Messing, rather than do her own apology, I couldn't have said it better. There was more. There's something she said about Kanye, and then Nina Turner came through and just owned her, like completely owned her. So anyway, Debra Messing, look, I'm just not a fan. She's too extreme. It's too extreme. She's so caught in her way of she's saving the world that she's lost sight of the reality of the world. And you don't make change by inciting violence or creating blacklists or making it that your way is the only way that we can move forward. It's not how you make a country. We can be disappointed all you want, but that's the world we live in. We have to sort of meet in the middle, and people like this can't meet in the middle. They're absolute crazy people. So Debra Messing, yeah, that's crazy. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm supposed to do a scale at the end of these. On 1 being not very crazy, 10 being crazy. How crazy is this statement of being hard in prison? Whew. Let me be clear. I said nothing about that. I mean, I'm going to say this is a solid, it's a solid 8 for me. It's a solid 8. To say this is stupid, Debra. You need to retract this one. And inciting violence to me is isn't that against the Twitter policy? Like that's what you're doing. Like, no one should be allowed to say that about anybody. We shouldn't be wishing violence on each other. That is bullying at the highest level degree. And your clarification after saying the phobic thing you said, no, I didn't mean loving boyfriend. I meant getting hard in prison. Again, negative. That's what being a boyfriend is. Cool. There you go, guys, from the star of Will and Grace. Super liberal. Go vote. Jesus. If you like this sort of stuff, you like my take, and you're more independent like me, or you're open-minded, smash that like button, hit all alerts, smash the subscribe, leave the comment. You know how it all goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more coverage of outrage, cancel culture, and Hollywood scoops and breaking stories. Thanks for watching, everybody.